coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming.
Welcome back to Wilso Productions, and today I'm going to review Dunkirk. It's a film that I just happened to see. You can see it right here, up here. Dunkirk is a film directed by Christopher Nolan. It stars Fionn Whitehead, Harry Styles, Tom Hardy, and Cillian Murphy. Now, this film is just a very dramatic, suspenseful war film, if I could describe this film. It's a film that about these different kinds of blokes who are doing different things. Some of these soldiers are waiting to be picked up by boats so they can get off of Dunkirk, because there's just impending danger on this one beach. They've lost position to the Germans, and the English and the British and the French armies are trying to hold the Germans back, but they're struggling to do so. And meanwhile, the Germans aren't necessarily having to use their tanks to get them, and they're using actual planes to drop bombs on them while they're waiting to escape off of Dunkirk. So in this film, you see two different characters, Tommy and Alex, doing their best to get off of Dunkirk. They want to get out of there. They're sick of the beach. They're scared, and to be right so. This movie is very suspenseful. There's always impending danger of dying and getting hurt. The noise and the gunshots of planes, rifles, you name it, machine guns, it is so realistic. It is just beautiful to listen to. If you're a sound person and you love sound, this is one of those films you have to listen to, because Christopher Nolan gets it right down to the fucking, just the sound of it. The sound of the gunshot is so realistic. The sounds of many other things, like the planes, the bombs, and just the cinematography to mix that all with it is just beautiful to watch. It is a very dark, gloomy film, but it sets the mood up perfectly for these guys to show how suspenseful Dunkirk would have been for these soldiers, and how stressful it was for them to try and get off of the beach, because they were in danger of possibly getting ambushed by the Germans via planes. The film is just a perfect example of what a war film should be like. The characters aren't strong. You're not going to go into this film thinking, oh, I like that character and this character. The characters aren't the strongest. They don't give you much of who they are. You just have to sort of go off on what they are like. You're in the moment. It's a more of in the moment kind of a film. You're in this moment with them, experiencing Dunkirk with them, listening, breathing, watching it as you watch these characters go through the Dunkirk beach, just scared, waiting to try and be picked up by boats. Meanwhile, like, boats are getting destroyed by planes, and they are just like frustrated, wanting to know where their air force is to try and take out some of these planes, so they can use some of the ships they can put soldiers on to get away from Dunkirk, because it's really dangerous. The music is so dramatic and it's so excellent. Hans Zimmer's score is excellent in this. It is a perfect example of how you should do your musical score in a film, especially a war film. It isn't your traditional war film music. It's very realistic and very emotional too when you experience it in a cinema. You gotta go see it in a big cinema if you can, guys. It is a very good experience just to hear the sounds, to be honest, of just this film and the cinematography of this film. Everything is realistic. You just look at things and it looks so real. I think if the only few things they would have used CGI for would have been maybe, I guess, for some of the plane scenes maybe, but I don't really know. Like, I can't really tell, to be honest, like, whether it is real or not. Like, you'd have to watch the behind scenes of Dunkirk, so I definitely want to watch it again and maybe go behind the scenes and see how he did certain things, and how he shot certain shots, just because it is really realistic. The practical effects are amazing in this too, guys. It's just, you just gotta praise that, you know. You gotta thank Christopher Nolan for just going with practical effects in this. If you go into Dunkirk wanting to like the characters in the film, It's best not to try and be hopeful for that. You just have to watch these characters. You're not going to know much about them, and that's probably the way it has to be, because you really are just having to experience what this character is feeling and what this character is experiencing. This isn't like a character A and character B. There is no villain in this film except for the Germans and the planes. It's just, you know, these certain characters. Probably the most character-filled person you get is the father and the son on the boat, who are going out to Dunkirk to help some soldiers. And Tom Hardy's character, of course, is Farrier in the plane, and I found, was an excellent character because he was just determined to try and make a dent in these planes so that you know, his forces could have a chance to get away from Dunkirk. And, you know, it just shows you the intensity of those few scenes that he's in to try and take out the few certain planes just so that his forces have, like, a chance to escape, finally. There isn't much else to talk about this film, guys. Otherwise, I'd be just repeating myself. I just have to say, if you like war films, and if you like an authentic war film, this is probably something you may want to check out. It's very good sound design. It's very good acting. It's beautifully to watch because the cinematography is great. It's very authentic. It looks like you're in that time zone. It's all really good, guys. The storytelling is excellent as well, and it's hard to kind of read the story because it is a bit mixed, because you can't really know who the characters are, but you know their story and what they're basically trying to do. So I'm going to give Dunkirk a 9 out of 10. It is a very good film. Very hard to pick flaws in the film. Like I said, the only few things were the characters could have been a little bit more, could have had a little bit more. Just the two main ones I'm talking about, the ones that are trying to escape from Dunkirk. And it's just not your traditional war film, which I personally like for that. So, you know, I can't complain about that, so that's not really a negative. But yeah, go see it out in cinemas, guys. You will not regret it. I reckon you will enjoy every minute of it. Thank you again for tuning into Wilso Productions. I hope you enjoyed this movie review. If you did, hit a like on the video. If you want to subscribe, please subscribe, as I produce weekly content of video game videos and movie reviews and TV reviews. Stay tuned for Toradora Cars Free coming up next, guys. See you soon. Bye.